Welcome. I'm John Wonke, the Director of the Lenawee County Education Foundation, the Education Foundation of the Lenawee Intermediate School District. This is the 32nd annual scholarship reception, and we are happy you joined us. The foundation has provided almost $6 million in scholarships over these years to almost 6,000 recipients. This year is no different. Over 200 students will be awarded $578,000 in scholarships. We'd like to thank Adrian College for the use of Dawson Auditorium and the many other service providers and volunteers who make this day possible. Finally, we have almost 170 donors who have provided these scholarships year in and year out, and for that we are thankful for their generosity and their focus on education. So please sit back and enjoy the program.
This all started in 1985, and that's 32 years ago. Gee, I'm getting older. But it's really a thrill. It's symbolic of what I think is going to happen in this community. We're going to come back. Things are starting to move. We're blessed to have 3 colleges in this town. And what the people have been magnificent in their continuation of the scholarship each year. Each year it keeps going up. That means we're retaining those folks who did give. I have a dream, though, maybe someday, that anyone in Lenawee County that wants to and has the ability to go to college and get a scholarship. I enjoy standing up there and being, well, first of all, being able to talk, but it's to see it's ingrained in the community, and I want to personally thank the donors.
Good afternoon. My name is John Wonke, and I'm the Director of the Lenawee County Education Foundation, and I would like to welcome all of you to this event today. I notice on my phone it's 2 o'clock. I also notice on my phone it's not turned off. So if you would be so kind as to turn your phones off, we would appreciate it. I'd like to take a moment and thank the donors and the presenters that are here today, and also the recipients and their family and friends. It's quite a year for us. There's well over 200 students that will receive scholarships, over 400 scholarships, and about $575,000. So it's a very nice year for students in Lenawee County. I would like to mention, as a significant number of our scholarships are memorial scholarships, where a family or friend or business wants to recognize a loved one or an associate. They have the opportunity to do that in a memorial scholarship to maybe perpetuate their traits, their skill sets, things that you want to remember them by. So if you've ever thought about doing a scholarship in memory of someone, please feel free to contact me at our offices. Almost 40% of our scholarships are memorial in some sort, shape, and fashion. Just a couple pieces of important information. Already talked about our cell phones. The process for the donors and recipients, we have our lineup crew here to my right, and they will have a board with your group number on, and you watch for your group number, you'll line up. Group 1 will come up on stage. We'll announce the scholarship, the presenter, the recipient, and a couple things that go along with that. We have about 20 recipients that were not able to make it today. I do know we have at least a couple spelling errors. My apology for that. But there's a lot of moving parts in this program, and it comes together quite late sometimes. The scholarship ceremony today is being videoed by LISD-TV, and it'll be available, my guess would be in June, to view. Afterwards, we have a little reception. There'll be punch and cookies inside, and we have a tent outside, so depending on your preference, there'll be plenty of room for all of us. And I have, last thing, a couple thank yous. Adrian College is very generous in allowing us to use this auditorium at a very modest cost, very modest. Artonic helped us with our PowerPoint this year. Spectrum Printing provided the programs at no charge to us, the LISD-TV. We appreciate them videoing this. They also did some interviewing along with the Daily Telegram earlier of some of the students that'll be available on LISD-TV. Emma Brooks and Ann Kneisel helped organize the media event. Two people you never see out here are Lad Strayer and Vicki Schmucker. They do all the photographs. As the group is dismissed from up here, they go to the music room and they're photographed with their presenter. And that goes into this year's annual report, which is the calendar. So, and then I do want to say, Christy Suter is working with me now. She's been with me 3 weeks, I think. Christy, raise your hand. I'd like to... When Dawn Richards told me she was leaving early March to go to Arizona, she had to or she wouldn't be married. I was like, what the heck am I going to do? But Christy showed up and made a big difference. And Dawn Richards, who many of you know from years before, is still helping us out. She and Christy are working together all through this, so I'm really thankful for both Dawn and Christy, so thank you very much. And then the volunteer ushers, greeters, everyone that's helped us with this day's event, I'd like to thank. And at this time, we have at least 5 words of wisdom, rules of wisdom from our chairman of our board, Frank Dick.
Good afternoon. What an opening sentence to say, but it's happy days for here again. Happy days we're going to see some nice young people receive scholarships. And I think about this, boy, this is a big weekend for this community. Last night, the Croswell had its grand opening, and believe you me, it is gorgeous. It is beautiful, and you can be proud of Lenawee County for having that. So let's just give Croswell folks a big round of applause. Now, it's been my joy and my passion to have been participating in this ceremony since 1985. That's 32 years ago. When 32 years, and I just think that we started with 2 scholarships. And then that was the gas company had 2, and then the Gleaners came with 1. And it's been such a joy. And so if you just think about how blessed our lives have been because we have had the opportunities to present opportunities for young people to succeed. Well, and particularly when you get a certain age, it really means a great deal. And so if you look at your program, there's so much information here. It's wonderful. If you look at your program on the back page. Let's all get our program out and look at the back page, because that's the reason I want to make sure that you recognize the board of directors of their officers and treasury secretaries. And then all this, our board is a faithful board. They faithfully attend the meetings. They serve without compensation. They do it as a community service. So then I'd like to also recognize the LISD Board of Education. So it's a partnership. We're really an arm of the LISD to make sure that the kids of Lenawee County receive. And then also you see the ex officio members of the board and the honorary directors and so forth. But here, I'm not going to read all their names, but I think they really, really deserve a round of applause, a solid round of applause. But now we come to why we're here, the students. So it's customary that we talk to the students. First of all, I like to see what you look like. How about all the students who get scholarship? Please stand. Please stand. I want everyone to see. There they are. How about that? How about that? And they're all from Lenawee County. They are represented by their superintendents of schools of the county, but also the local superintendents are very, very helpful. Well, now to the students. I hope we'll take a few moments and discuss with me or listen to me talk about the rules for going to college. Now, when you go to college, it's going to be different, extremely different, because individual initiative ranks so high. So I have some rules for you to digest, and perhaps you'll be quizzed about these rules. Okay. First of all, rule number 1, never miss a class. Now, if you get a slight headache or your back's a little, go to school. Okay, what's rule number 2? Always do your homework. In fact, that's a good rule whether it's school or not. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't shorten yourself by going to class without doing your homework. You're missing the boat. Your idea to go to college is to learn and participate in the classes. Well, how are we getting? That's rule number 2. Number 3, get to know your college professor. People, you say you should get to know. What do you mean? I mean, you want that professor to know who you are, where you live, who your parents are. It's extremely important. And by the way, parents, it wouldn't hurt if you got to know the professor too, because they get to understand it's a human nature to work in the role of teaching. Okay, number 4, give thanks. Give thanks every day for your parents or your sponsor or your loved ones who made it possible for you to go to college. It's extremely, to do that inner feeling of appreciation. Okay, number 5 is a twister. Be cautious. Be cautious of student loans. You didn't think I'd mention that, did you? It's easy to get a student loan. Recently, I talked to a person that came back from a trip on a cruise, they met a nice young man who was on that cruise. So, why are you on the cruise? Oh, I put it on my student loan. I don't think that's a purpose of student loan. So you're going to have discretionary power to say yes or no, because you, as a student, will need to pay it back. It's not a grant. It's a loan. And some of the student loan, I talked recently to a student loan recipient who had a huge student loan to go to medical school. You know how much that loan was? $400,000. So be careful, and you parents and guidance, and as you review with your student the fact. I just heard on the radio today that the average student loan in most places is about $34,000. But that money has to be, and that'll go up as the years go on. Okay. Number 7. I'm slipping this one in. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can succeed, you can learn, you can do what's required. But never lose your self-confidence. You have earned the right to go to a college, to exercise your responsibilities. Believe in yourself. And number 8, I always like to tell this one because it's how Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of England during World War II, came to the United States and went out to Missouri or someplace to a college to give a commencement speech. And he gave the shortest commencement speech on record. You know what he said? In his wisdom, never give up. When the task seems inedible and the task seems difficult, do as Sir Winston Churchill said. Well, my last one is believe in the good Lord. We are here in this world today to do things for other people, and the good Lord is watching over us. Well, I guess I would sum it up this way. Getting an education is only a means of preparing you to serve other people and to help other people. We get educated to help ourselves, yes, but that's an effort to do something for other people. And I like to put it this way. Do all the good you can in all the ways you can for all the people you can as long as you ever can. Class, congratulations, and I know you're going to be a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank. Prior to starting the reception or the scholarships here, we're going to do a pledge of allegiance to the flag. If you'll stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to take a moment and introduce our moderators who will be getting up here shortly. Sue Ann Hammersmith, Jan Parsons, and Mark Haig. I read names for hospice during their candlelight service every year with Mark Murray, And one of the hardest things is getting the names pronounced correctly. As hard as we try, sometimes it just doesn't come out right. And let me apologize in advance if we make any faux pas on your names. So we'll get started here. Sue Ann? Oh, I'm sorry, Mark.
Make sure they're in. First scholarship today is the Adrian Community Preschool Scholarship in memory of Shirley Dick, presented by Frank Dick, and that goes to Lauren Francoeur from Adrian. The Adrian Community Preschool Scholarship in memory of Arden Muck, presented by Frank Dick and Louise Kleinsmith, will go to Kennedy Armstrong and Michaela Jenkins. The Carlo Hickman Memorial Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Frank Dick, will go to Alyssa Dale. The Dr. John Dawson Memorial Scholarship, Adrian College Teacher Education, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, goes to Isabella Anderson. Frank and Shirley Dick Health Scholarship, presented by Frank Dick, goes to Spencer Fisher. The Frank and Shirley Dick Lenawee Country Club Scholarship, presented by Frank Dick and Deb Howard, goes to Molly Wilson. The Lenawee County Fair Queen, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Frank Dick and Karen Robach, goes to Haley Jo Petrowski. The Lenawee County Fair Queen first runner-up goes to Molly Wilson. The Lenawee County Fair Queen second runner-up goes to Sabri Dalton. And the Shirley Dick Memorial PEO Scholarship goes to Shanaida Rodriguez. Oh, I'm sorry, presented by Frank Dick and Deanna Hartley.
I forgot to kind of give our protocol here as the groups come up. If you'll come up, and if your presenter's with you, if you would stand together. And as your name's announced, if the presenter would congratulate the recipient, we'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, the Adrian Women's Club, in memory of Thelma Swigert, presented by John Wenke, goes to Leah Lobkovich. The Benjamin Prettyman Memorial Scholarship, presented by Lee and Vicki Prettyman, goes to Jacob Head. The Bradford and Bronson Mansfield Business Scholarship, presented by Susie Mansfield, goes to Haley Mellon. The Cambridge Township Firefighters and Rescue Association Andrew M. Schultz Memorial Scholarship, presented by Chuck Schultz, goes to Taylor Morse. The Captain Mark Irwin Memorial Scholarship, also presented by Chuck Schultz, goes to Joshua Heiston. Sergeant Greg Hunt Memorial Scholarship, also presented by Chuck Schultz, goes to Taylor Morse. Well, he's of Onstead, excuse me, Habit. Charles and Glenna Tipton First Generation Scholarship, presented by John Wenke, Kendra Baker, Cameron Patton, Cameron Powell, Madeline Pugh, and Sunita Rodriguez. The Don Mackey Memorial Health Scholarship, presented by Jan Parson, goes to Kelsey Mullen. The Eric Brandeberry Memorial Scholarship, presented by Rick and Jill Brandeberry, goes to Jessica Albright, Janessa Burke, Soledad Marquez, Frank Najera, and Caitlin Schaffner. The Glenn Martic Scholarship, presented by Joe Lucy, goes to Haley Perez. The Gordy Wuthrich Memorial Scholarship, presented by Deborah Wuthrich, goes to Jacob Mason. The Gregory W. Sprague Memorial Health Scholarship, presented by Jan Sprague, Sarah Salenbein, and Rachel Nichols, goes to Courtney Taylor. The Harry and Joanne Steele Memorial Scholarship, presented by John Wanke, goes to Mirjana Jovakic. The Harry, Bernice, and Marta Jean Duncan Scholarship, presented by John Wanke, goes to Mackenzie Warner. Let's give them all a round. Next, we have the Harvey and Doris Carpenter Scholarship, presented by Vicki Carpenter and Sandy Keith. That also goes to Haley Perez. The James and Gladys Robidoux Scholarship, presented by John Wanke, goes to Kayla Coyne. The Jeremy Robert Glasscock Memorial Scholarship, presented by Francie Terry and Jill Glasscock, goes to Ethan Sewell. The John Wyatt Jr. Memorial Community Service Scholarship, presented by John Wanke, goes to Haley Green and Nicole Strand. The Cassie Wingard Scholarship, presented by Dale and Audra Wingard, goes to Daniel Spence. The Larry Camp Memorial Scholarship, also presented by Dale Wingard, will go to Courtney Benscooter, unable to be with us today. The Lawn Family Scholarship, presented by Sue Ann Hammersmith, goes to Emily Yench. And the Lloyd Ruesink Memorial Scholarship, presented by Virginia Clark, goes to Alyssa Beauchamp. Let's give this group a round of applause. Okay, the Long Family Scholarship in memory of Jacqueline Long Carson, presented by Norma and Pat Long, goes to Caitlin Luck. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Art Scholarship, presented by Karen Kane, goes to Stevie Gonzalez. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Art Scholarship Renewal, presented also by Karen Kane, goes to David Cochran and Charles Southward, unable to be with us today. Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Engineering Scholarship, presented by Karen Kane, goes to Mackenzie Bosman. The Maurice and Dorothy Stubnitz Foundation Engineering Scholarship Renewal, presented by Karen Kane, goes to Jessica Foss, Jacob Mason, and Jaron Warner. The N. Lawrence Francoeur Leadership Scholarship, presented by Mary Francoeur Dirksen, goes to Nick Rutledge. The Patricia and Joseph Koska Memorial Scholarship, presented by Jessica Stanford, goes to Brianna Weimer. The Pauline and Sebastian Panazza Memorial Scholarship, presented by Leonardo and Denise Panazza, goes to Connor Urban. And the Richard and Hazel Berlin Memorial Scholarship, presented by Jan Parson, goes to Kennedy Mary.
The Roy E. Freeman Memorial Scholarship, presented by Jackie Freeman, goes to Alexander Sharp. The Tammy Fisher Memorial Scholarship, presented by Amanda Spahn, goes to Lauren DeLand. The Rex and Mary Martin Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Elizabeth Brown. The Walter J. and Leota Tom R. McNeil Memorial Scholarship, presented by Stacy Johnson, goes to Chloe Casino, Jaden Kratz, Kelsey Frederick, Jolie Langmeyer, Mitchell Logan. The William Cal Poppig Memorial Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Emily Alderman. The Addison Pharmacy Scholarship, presented by Doug Heibreder, goes to Nathan McLeod. Hi. Adrian College Scholarship, presented by Frank Ibar, goes to Grace Acuna, who couldn't be with us today, Isabel Anderson, Courtney Bertles, who couldn't be with us today, Madison Brown, Alexis Barisi, Alexa Clark, Gabrielle Corley, Paige Costello, Zachariah Crafts, who couldn't be with us today, Kylie Doty, Skyla Ellie, Grace Hollowell, Connor Lynn, Soledad Marquez, Brian Moore, Taylor Morris, Alexandra Morgan, Noah Neiman, Ashley Pelham, Ariana Rossman, Jessica Rowe, who couldn't be with us today, Jared Slope, Nicole Strand, Liam Tapp, Alexis Torres, Tyler Van Brandt, and Bonner Wicking. Thank you. Group 8. Hello, Linda. The Adrian First United Methodist Church Scholarship presented by Reverend Chris Brundage goes to Hannah Barr. The Adrian Garden Club Scholarship presented by Dorothy Waltz and Linda Calhoun goes to Cassidy Mullins. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Madison High School Interact Club goes to Callie Halsey. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Madison High School Interact Club Renewal, presented by Malau, goes to Taylor Jones. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Service Above Self, presented by Mahler, goes to Rebecca Simmons. The Adrian Morning Rotary Club Scholarship Service Above Self Renewal goes to Namadi Arana, who could not be with us. The Adrian Noon Rotary Siena Heights University Dr. Robert Brady Scholarship, presented by Dr. Robert Brady, goes to Avery Cash. The Adrian Rotary Club Four-Way Test Essay Scholarship, presented by Mary Murray, goes to Keely Pape. The Alan and Julie Britton MSU Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Melissa Snyder, Rebecca Vicadal. Thank you.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
that unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
May I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Well, I didn't start till the week of they were due. So I was really busy that week. Right. Plus I play softball, so I was super busy trying to fill them all out and go with practices before the season started. So it was long. I think I'm gonna miss the teachers actually, because right now I have a very flexible schedule, and it's like the teachers work with me very well because I do college classes in the morning and then come to the school. So it's just like I'm just gonna miss the flexibility and what I can do all day And I'm also on the yearbook committee, and that's probably the one thing I miss the most because I do everything for that. For the past 4 years, I've helped out with that a lot.
The Nydia Meyers Foundation Scholarship, presented by Kim Koch and Sarah White, goes to Rachel Sanders. The Alan H. and Nydia Meyer Foundation Scholarship, presented by Kim Koch and Sarah White, goes to Amalia Baker, Kendra Baker, Amalia Bailey, Kendra Baker, Olivia Dasher, Lauren DeLand, Alicia Dussault, Aaron Folu, Ashley Gray, Foster Coos, Rebecca Mammel, Alexander McDowell, Kristen Pike, Sonada Rodriguez, Nick Rutledge, Hannah Swerple, Lee Walton, Mary Pat Wallet. The Alan Myers Memorial Scholarship, also presented by Kim Koch and Sarah White, goes to Zachary Witt. Ten. Danielle. Okay. The Alvin and Clara Schwab Scholarship goes to Danielle Nathan, who could not be with us. American Legion Auxilliary Underwood or Unit 34 Tecumseh, presented by Kimberly Williams and Charlene Williams, goes to Kylie Stewart. The American Legion Post 97 Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by William Sanderson, goes to Kathleen Hubbard. The Anderson Development Company Adrian High School Scholarship, presented by Jamie Williams, goes to Rebecca Simmons. The Anderson Development Environmental Scholarship, presented by Jamie Williams, goes to Alexis Foster, who could not be with us, and Cassidy Mullins. Bixby Medical Auxiliary Dilla Miller Memorial Scholarship, presented by Jim Nicholas, goes to Cameron Stinzig. Bixby Medical Center Auxiliary Scholarship, presented by Jim Nicholas, goes to Madison Gleckler, Mirjana Jokovic, Mariah Lenawee. Bixby Medical Center Auxiliary Scholarship Renewal, presented by Jim Nicholas, goes to Carly LaPlante, Casey Mulligan, Danielle Nation, Rachel Smelzer, who could not be with us today, and Mackenzie Warner. Thank you.
The Bobby L. Williams Annual Youth Citizenship Scholarship goes to Victoria Tinsley. It is presented by John Birdwell and Larry Richardson. The Braceway Engineering Scholarship is presented by Taylor Marilat to Zachary Whitty. The Braceway Engineering Scholarship Renewal is presented to Kyle Lakatos by Taylor Marilat, and then also Brianna Willinus, who cannot be here today. The Braceway Leadership Scholarship is presented by Taylor Marilat to Michael Peterson. The Braesway Leadership Scholarship Renewal is presented by Taylor Marilat to Allie Moore and Ashton Lucas and Javon McGowan, who cannot be here today. The Braesway STEM Innovation Scholarship is presented by Taylor Marilat to Andrew Martin. The Braesway STEM Innovation Scholarship Renewal is presented by Taylor Marilat to Jordan Krieger and Jacob Mason. The Cambridge Township Firefighters and Rescue Scholarship is presented by Chuck Schultz to Michaela Jenkins. And the Carlos and Norma Long Agriculture Scholarship is presented by Janet McDowell to Callie Halsey. Thank you. The Community Service Scholarship is presented by Jim Van Doren to Rayanne Engel, Michael Peterson, Taylor Cantrell, Garrett Warner, Lindsay Branscombe, Jared Kazor, Erica Mormon, who cannot be with us today. Is she here? Frank Genera, Haley Green, Isabel Anderson, Mackenzie Ream, and Alexander McDowell. The Culvers of Adrian Scholarship is presented by John Wonke to Emma Leish. The David S. Hickman Leadership Scholarship is presented to David Kazor. Congratulations to this group. The Dick and Jan Parson First Generation Scholarship is presented by Jan Parson to Carolyn Binns. Her mother, Laura, is accepting. The Disabled American Veterans Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, is presented by Michael Poston to Amaya Bailey. The Doug Spade Agriculture Scholarship is presented by John Wonke to Caitlin Luck. The Doug Spade Public Service Scholarship is presented by John Wonke to Megan Dennis. The Doug Spade Special Education Scholarship is presented by Dale Wingard to Connor Lynn. The Dr. Kelly Sickey and Lorenzo Cristato Debate Scholarship is presented by Lorenzo Cristato to Allison Alexander. The Elizabeth Ruthruff Wilson Dedicated Musician Award, I can always trip over Ruthruff, is presented by Teresa Powers to Morgan Hill, Stephen Polchinski, and Zachary Whitty. The Elizabeth Wilson Memorial College Scholarship is presented by Teresa Powers to Kara Murray. And the Elizabeth Wilson Memorial College Scholarship Renewal is presented to Hayden Keene and Rebecca Shields, who cannot be here today. The Elizabeth Wilson Memorial Scholarship is presented by Teresa Powers to Jordan Pelfrey. Congratulations to this group. Ask them to step forward when they come to present and they know who to put down. The Fairfield Chapter number 224 Order of the Eastern Star Thelma Swigert Memorial Scholarship goes to Aaron Southward, who could not be here today. The Farver Foundation Business Scholarship is presented by Pat Farver to Selena Alvarez, Paige Halfman, and Connor Lynn. The FFI Alumni Scholarship Ivan and Eileen Hunt Award is presented by Amy Lamb to Keely Pape. The FFI Alumni Scholarship Ken Bollinger Award is presented by Amy Lamb to Caitlin Luck. And then there are 4 FFA Alumni Scholarship Lenawee County Awards. The first goes to Callie Halsey, Joshua Heistan, Meredith Inman, and Ashley Pallam. The first Federal Bank Hispanic Scholarship is presented by Rachel Emery to Stephanie Elizondo. The Frank and Shirley Dick Lenawee Economic Development Corporation Scholarship is presented by Jim Van Doren to Colin Haig. The Free to Play Scholarship is presented by Doug Gray to Noah Kratz and to Nick Rutledge. And the Gray Institute Scholarship is presented by Doug Gray to Kylie Doty and Rebecca Mammal. Congratulations to this group. Congratulations. Okay. I think I know these people. The Gleaner Life Insurance Society scholarships are presented by Kevin Marty to Spencer Fisher, Brooke Henning, Delaney Henry, Taylor Horn, Jacob Houston, Caitlin Luck, Abigail McCullough, Maggie Roback, Hannah Robinson, and Brianna Weimer, who is unable to be with us today. The Grabe Family Scholarship is presented by Philip Grabe to Lauren DeLand. And the Health Specialist of Lenawee Scholarship is presented by Doris Goodlock to Hannah Swerple. Congratulations to this group.
The Herrick Medical Center Auxilliary Scholarship, presented by Marilyn and Vicki Felton, goes to Alexis Bailey, Daniel Spence, Haley Whitehead, and Harley Whitehead. The Intiva Products LLC Scholarship, presented by Mark Ellerbrock, goes to Elizabeth Harriman. The Janet McDowell Lenawee County Debate League Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, goes to presented by Janet McDowell, goes to Riley LaRose. The Joanne Voorhees Yiter and Lyle Yiter Scholarship goes to Kara Slater, who could not be with us today. Kapnick Insurance Group Non-Traditional Scholarship, presented by Jim Kapnick, goes to Stevie Gonzalez and Kevin Underhill, who could not be here today. The Kelly Carter Scholarship Fund, presented by Robert and Holly Leffler, goes to Brady Griffith. The Kelly Carter Scholarship Fund Renewal, presented by Robert and Holly Leffler, goes to Carly LaPlante. The LNS Scholarship, presented by Stephanie Harmon, goes to Evan Reisinger and Brianna Wynn. The Lenape District Boy Scout Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Greg Dumars, goes to Liam Tapp. The Lenawee County Friends of 4-H FFA Scholarship, presented by Cecilia Ashley Warwick, goes to Haley Whitehead. Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship, Council Scholarship, presented by Cecilia and Ashley Warwick, goes to Sabri Dalton and Michaela Starr. Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship, Rome Blue Ribbon in honor of Harvey and Rosie Warwick, presented by Cecilia and Ashley Warwick, goes to Abigail McCullough. Lenawee County 4-H Scholarship in memory of Jeff Marvin is presented by the Marvin family and goes to Mackenzie Dieters. Lenawee County 4-H Council Scholarship in memory of Kevin Barrett, presented by Kendra and Kendall Barrett, goes to Chase Benham, Elizabeth Brown, and Julia Creek. Lenawee County 4-H Council Scholarship in memory of Marge Jackson, presented by George McMillan, goes to Spencer Fisher. The Lenawee County 4-H Council Scholarship Junior Livestock in memory of Tori Clark, Lindy Bailey, and Brian McMillan is presented by Dave Clark and George McMillan, goes to Callie Halsey, Keely Pape, Kaylee Ringquist, Maggie Roback, Hayden Whitehead, and Molly Wilson. Thank you. Oh, okay.
I'm going to call a timeout for a minute here. We have a slight snag in the picture taking room. A slight backup, and I apologize for that. I would like to encourage you to stay afterwards, especially the families and the recipients, to meet donors. And that's always a nice time, and it looks like it's still sunny outside, so all right, I slowed it down a little bit, so you can, let's go, Jan, we'll continue. You're still reading.
I am. Lenawee County Association of Realtors Scholarship, presented by Janae Gilson, goes to Jacob Trentman. The Lenawee County Association of School Boards Special Education Scholarship, presented by Dale Wingard, goes to Connor Lynn. Lenawee County Commissioner's Scholarship, presented by Carol Casey Bolton, goes to Cameron Powell, Alexander Stiverson. The Lenawee County Democratic Party Scholarship, presented by Ken Van Oosterdrup, goes to Isabel Suito. The Lenawee County NAACP Citizen Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Genesis Hardneck. Lenawee County Public Educator Scholarship, presented by Mark Haig, goes to Nicole Hollowell. Lenawee County Republican Party Scholarship, presented by Bronna Kale, goes to Jacob Single. The Lenawee County Superintendent's Association Scholarship, presented by Mark Haig, goes to Madison Bachman.
Why don't we hold up a little?
Okay.
Just take a lot longer.
Okay. Read it slowly.
Read slowly and wait for it. We're going to wait for them to clear, and then we'll slowly have them come up. There's the multiple scholarship. Kelly was holding them all. It didn't matter whether what group.
You're right.
So it's just there are two key people out there this year.
Yes, you're right. We have a steamer for Green Doll, isn't him? The Lenawee Healthcare Educational Fund Clara Schwab Scholarship, presented by Nicole Underwood, goes to Danielle Nation. Lenawee Healthcare Educational Fund Scholarship, presented by Nicole Underwood, goes to Lindsay Davis, Lauren DeLand, Megan Dennis, Mackenzie Dieters, Sarah Ford, Destiny Howard, who could not be here today, Abigail Castor, Ethan Kozmina, Leah Labkovich, Sophia Ranta, Michaela Rosenberg, Hannah Swerple, and Haley Whitehead. The Lenawee Healthcare Educational Scholarship Fund Renewal, presented by Nicole Underwood, goes to Logan Crane, Kelsey Fisher, who could not be with us today, Jessica Foss, who could not be with us today, Emily Glenna, who could not be with us today, Albany Lagore, Carly LaPlante, Mariah Linnu, Xavion McGowan couldn't be with us today, Danielle Nation, Natalie Perry, Georgina Pike, Raquel Smeltzer, who could not be with us today, Colin Trainer, Mackenzie Warner. Thanks.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for. your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe. 14 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, this year she celebrated her 50th wedding anniversary.
Is that why you've taken off your jeans?
No, I've taken off my jeans to prove the link between genes and the fight against breast cancer.
Oh, that's interesting. Do I have to take off my jeans?
No, nobody has to take off their jeans, Mom, but everybody has to go to denimday.com right now. I'll explain everything, dress code optional.
Apparently. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Learn more at denimday.com.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
We were actually approached by the Tech Center to promote the Mark Pfister Memorial Scholarship, and Mark had done such great work here in the community with the kids, and we're love to support the Tech Center. We have a great need for technicians as well, so we saw this as a perfect fit to get involved. It's an honor for us to be able to pass on some of that legacy and to allow it to continue. His caring, his passion for it, that's a really important part of our industry. You have to have a real passion for what you do to be successful. I think that goes in just about any industry, but I think that to see his passion carry over would be the most rewarding.
LISD Tech Center Scholarships, Bell Clift Scholarship, presented by Gary Clift, goes to Benjamin Beamer, who could not be with us today. The LISD Tech Center Scholarship, Bruce Stevens Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Haley Whitehead. The LISD Tech Center Scholarship, Citizens Gas Fuel Company Scholarship, presented by Joe Lucy, goes to Ashlyn Childs. The LISD Tech Center Scholarships, Gleaner Life Insurance Society, presented by Kevin Marty, goes to Michaela Rosenberg. LISD Tech Center Scholarship, Lenawee County Dental Community Scholarship, presented by Angela Philbeam, goes to Annette Miller. The LISD Tech Center Scholarship, Mark Pfister Memorial, presented by Mark Williams, Amy Pfister, Kyle Griffin, goes to Jacob Cox. The LISD Tech Center Scholarship, Tim and Tabitha Vergote Scholarship, presented by Tim and Tabitha, goes to Samantha Gehrig.
First up, the Lucy Wolcott Barnum Chapter DAR Scholarship, presented by Maxine Smith, goes to Claire Marks Wilt, Alyssa Pluta, and Ariana Roseman. The Maxwell Family Scholarship, presented by David Maxwell, goes to Ashley Miner. The Meyer Incorporated Scholarship, presented by Irma Ledesma Newsom, goes to Stevie Gonzalez. The Milton C. and Margaret L. Porter Adrian College Teacher Education Scholarship, presented by Gary McDowell, goes to Dakota Suter. The Milton C. and Margaret L. Porter Special Education Scholarship, presented by Gary McDowell, goes to Emily Phelan. Mission Sports Performance Stewardship Award, presented by Eric Driver, goes to Brooke Henning and Hannah Swerple. Let's give this group a round of applause. The Strokes for Students Mulligan Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Riley LaRose. The Otto and Marion Meyer Scholarship, presented by Katie Meyer, goes to Carly LaPlante, Melissa Shear, and those that couldn't be with us today include Kelsey Fisher, Austin Lewandowski, Morgan Monahan, and Natalie Perry. Partners in Hope Scholarship, funded by the Stanley and Karen Kane, presented by Chris Howard, goes to Michaela Jenkins. The Richard German Scholarship, presented by Richard German, goes to Mirjana Jovic. The Richard L. German Criminal Justice Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Richard German, goes to Benjamin Alston. The Rick Gurgeon Adrian College Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, goes to Tyler Van Brandt, who wasn't able to be with us today. Robert and Ardith Hinsdale Agribusiness Scholarship, presented by Robert Hinsdale, goes to Eliza Simpkins. Let's give this group a round of applause. All right, a good-sized group here. The Siena Heights University Scholarship, presented by Nicole Hood and Trudy Moore, are presented today to Elise Armstrong. Please step forward when we say your name. We got a lot of time before pictures, so we'll make sure we recognize you. Madison Bachman, Olivia Dezier, Destin D. LaVega, Jocelyn Evans, Samantha Gehrig, Jonathan Hernandez, Skylar Hoffmeister, Tyler House, Hannah Kane, Maximilian Kemp, Skylar Lipinski, Serena Martindale, Kenda McCullough, Anthony Moore, Danielle Nowak, Kyla Oliver, Jordan Pelfrey, Marissa Prettyman, Michaela Price, Tiffany Roberts, Megan Rosales, Michaela Rosenberg, Joey Seraphin, Megan Sarin, Montana Smith, Delaney Sturzik, Alexander Stiverson, Nina Trevino, Emma Vasher, Isaiah Wyatt Young, Mackenzie Yabara, Emily Yench, and unable to be with us today, Grace Acuna, Avery Cash, Drew Whelan, and Darian Zeloff. Let's give this group a round of applause. The Sister Eileen Rice Teacher Education Scholarship, presented by John Wonke, goes to Jordan Pelfrey. The Spring Arbor University Scholarship, presented by Colton Martinez, go to Alan Bannister, Kelsey Hollowell, Emily Orta, Alyssa Pluta, Sophia Ranta, Cassandra Tuckerman, and unable to be with us today, Landon Whitty. The Ron Reeves Memorial Adrian College Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, presented by Stanley Kane, goes to Paige Helfman. The Stanley Kane Adrian College Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, also presented by Stanley Kane, goes to Lindsay Branscombe. And the Steve Krusich JC LISD Academy Scholarship, presented by Ms. Kim Dussault, goes to Mallory McLeod. Let's give this group a round of applause. Group is the Strokes for Students scholarships that are funded through the fundraiser of the golf outing that's actually coming up next week. These awards will be presented by Pat Farver. The first one goes to Alexis Torres, Edward Holstein, Chelsea Kilgus, Bethany Salenbein, Hunter Mellinger, Aaron Bishop, Fletcher Thorpe, Devin Daniels, Callie Halsey, Michaela Jenkins, Jacob Houston, Haley Whitehead, and Cheyenne Stone, who is unable to be here today. Let's give this group a round of applause.
Go for a mouthful, go for the fun. Come on, go for cake. Cake for everyone. Just one stack is what it takes, and it's go for cakes. Open wide, stuff your face. There's always room for more Gopher cakes. Empty the box, they're reload. Eat those Gopher cakes till you explode.
Exercised lately?
Till you explode.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
I feel pretty good. I'm glad that I got some money for my hard work on these scholarships, and that it's going for my tuition at the University of Toledo, where I'm going to major in biomedical engineering. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm sure everyone's going to say this, but don't procrastinate. But specifically because I took a lot of time to write my essays for the scholarships, and it helps when you can go back and tweak them and put different things into different essays to see how they fit. And if you procrastinate and do it like the last week, it's going to hurt you. It can only help you if you take more time to do it.
The Tecumseh Area Soccer Club Scholarship is presented by John Wonke to Josh Nowak and Morgan Quintanilla. The Tecumseh Kiwanis Scholarships are presented by Kelly Coffin to Noah Kratz, Alyssa Dussault, Connor Lynn, Rebecca Mammal, Nicholas McClure, Cameron Powell, Hannah Swerple, Connor Urban, Samantha Walker, Haley Whitehead, and Harley Whitehead. Congratulations to this group. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Bedore Family Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Carly LaPlante, Kylie Perkins, Bailey Poston, and Morgan Monahan, who cannot be here today. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Mensing Family Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Benjamin Lodge. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Bertha LaPointe Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Albany Lagore, Claire Marks Wilt, Cameron Powell, Kyle Scales, Adam Shelby, and Oliver Autry, who cannot be here today. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Coach Vic Lawson Family Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Samantha Walker. And the Tecumseh Schools Foundation Eleanor Johnson Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Nicholas McClure, Stephen Polchinski, Connor Urban, Haley Whitehead, and Monica Tchaikovsky and Brianna Weimer, who cannot be with us. Let's give this group a round of applause. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Gerald Nelson Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Kendra Baker, Megan Freitas, Rebecca Mammel, Andrew Martin, Chloe Rayam, Bailey Stern, Hannah Swerple, Evan Trott, Leah Wathan, Harley Whitehead, Lance Wood, and Devin Mendez, who cannot be with us today. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Irene Bolt Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Alyssa Dussault. The Tecumseh Schools Foundation Lillian Butoff Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Emily Alderman and Carly Marsh. And the Tecumseh Schools Foundation Louise Lawson Family Scholarship is presented by Henry Mensing to Colin Traynor. Let's give this group a round of applause. The Fab Four Scholarship is presented by Jim Kapnick to Rebecca Simmons. The Tipton Pythian Sisters Scholarship is presented by Barbara Johnston to Sarah Ford and also to Brendan Hagan, who could not be here today. The TLC Community Credit Union Scholarship is presented by Lily Wolcott and Carrie Zubke to Courtney Taylor and to Callie Halsey. The Wes and Teresa Powers Tecumseh Schools Orchestra College Scholarship is presented by Teresa Powers to Stephen Polchinski. The William J. Ross Scholarship, funded by Frank and Shirley Dick, is presented by William Ross to Valeria Malores. Oh, she's got her own fan club. The Zonta International of Lenawee County College Scholarship is presented by Kara Dominique to Courtney Taylor. And the Zonta International of Lenawee County High School Scholarship is presented to Cameron Patton by Kara Dominique. This is our 29th and final group.
Well, some of you are going to be waiting for a few minutes for your young people as they finish up taking pictures. I believe our reception area out back is in the lobby and also under the tent is ready. And I will be directing the students, once their picture's taken, to meet you out there. But this 32nd annual scholarship reception is now completed, and I'd like to thank you very much for being part of that. Thank you.